Hey guys, it's me again. I wanted to come on because I had another scripture that really touched my heart, and I wanted to come on and share with you. Once again, from my humble living room. And the scripture comes from Ephesians 3, it's verse 20. It's now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. That kind of blows me out of the water. Why do we think that God can't do it? Why do we think that he isn't capable of doing the unthinkable in our lives? Why do we try to put a cap on God's blessing in our lives? Why do we think God's going to be like any other blow Joe in our life who disappoints us because they don't live up to our expectations? It's not that our expectations are unreasonable most times. Sometimes they are. But most times we don't have unreasonable expectations. We just put on expectations on human beings that are not capable of filling our every need. And humans are not meant to fulfill our every need. We are desperate people looking for a desperate God. And we're not going to find a desperate God in a human. We're going to find it only in him. And only through him can he work through others in our lives to touch us and to move us. Let's break this down a bit. Now to him that is God, who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine. I don't know about you, but I can imagine quite a bit. I have a vivid imagination and can imagine the worst scenarios as possible. When I was a kid, I would always imagine the best possible scenario that you can think of. But if we imagine according to God's power that is already at work within us, that power is already in you. It's already in your mind. It's already in your being. It's in your purpose. It's in your heart. It's there. His power is in you. Let's go back to this thinking of these scenarios though real fast, because I did not jot that down in my notes. I said that I can imagine the worst scenario as possible, and that's so very true. There are times where I could sit here and just think of the worst case scenario of a situation, or I could think of the best case scenario of a situation, and none of it come true. None of it. Not even the best. Not the worst. It usually happens kind of middle road. Usually. Sometimes I'm surprised. Here lately I am more surprised than not, because I've become cynical like many of you and have learned to expect the worst. And then I'm surprised when it does not happen and I get the best. I'm trying to reverse that in my own life, in my own mind, especially coming up on a new year where I'm wanting to change my whole perspective on life. I can see God doing many big things in my life in the next year. And for me to actually be able to see that, it's kind of exciting because it means that cynical part of me is leaving. I'm beginning to think back when I was a kid and think of the best scenarios possible. But if we imagine according to God's power that is already at work within us, God is working inside of you right now. You can feel him if you search for him. It's kind of like Scott Calvin when he's approached by an elf named Judy in the movie of Santa Claus with a cup of hot cocoa, shaken, not stirred. And she poses a statement when Scott questions his current reality. How many times are you questioning your current reality? How many times are you questioning, is what happening is really happening? Is this really what my life is amounting to? What am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? I have that question a lot. What am I going to do next? Well, Scott was in that situation. What is he going to do next? He's sitting there at the North Pole. All of a sudden, what is he supposed to do? How is he supposed to get home? But she says this one statement as he's questioning his current reality, and it's, seeing is not believing. Believing is seeing. That quote sticks to me many times. It returns to my mind, and I'm thinking, wow, God, you are just so amazing how you'll stick these little tidbits in movies that we watch and And you know it's purposely there for you at that moment. And this is what it's like to have complete and utter faith in God. You learn to believe in things that are not seen by the natural eye. You just sort of know that they are more than likely than not will work out in your favor. Only when I begin to doubt it do I discover that I have been holding on to an untruth in my life. An untruth that God's not capable of digging me out of a financial ditch. The untruth that God doesn't care about my finances when I know that He does. The untruth that God doesn't care about my health. That He caused me to get COVID, which, as many of you know, made my heart stop. And I have some neurological issues still left to deal with. Not that you can tell by looking at me, but they are there. But that's not His doing. That's a consequence of a human action, a human disease. We all are capable and susceptible to diseases in our life. It's a matter of whether they latch onto us and we latch onto it. I had gotten COVID at a time when my immune system was completely shot because of worry and concern for my husband, who was dealing with cancer. We were working, I was working, and my kids were working. We all were bringing germs home from outside. Who knows where we got it? I don't know. But I know that it sent me to the hospital for 2 months. And those 2 months I did not ever get back. Hold on. Anywho, I'm not going to dwell on that. That's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to encourage you to let go of all these untruths that you hold on to. Let go of the untruth that you're not worthy of God's love. Let go of the untruth that you deserve everything that happened to you. No, you didn't. Nobody deserves for negative things to happen to them. It's just a fact of reality of the world that we live in. We do not live in a perfect world. We do not live in a perfect home, in a perfect life. We are vulnerable, as I am being vulnerable right now with you. Goodness, sorry. God is real. He is there. And He wants you to know that He is watching you. Not in a negative way. Not in a way that He's pointing His finger at you, waiting, making a list of all your negative things that you do and say. Yes, we will be held accountable. But He is listing all the things that you are saying you want in your life. Your wish list. He's writing them down. He's writing your wish list down like you wrote your kids' wish list down when they mentioned something that they wanted for Christmas. He's making your Christmas wish list. And He's going to check each one of those off as He gives them to you. You just have to believe and have faith and hope. And don't lose that childlike wonder that we're all given in our life. Because to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is worked within us. His power is in you. He's given you everything you possibly could need to get to where you want to be. It's up to you to figure it out. And you'll figure it out with His leading, with His guidance. I believe in you, and I want you to believe in yourself as well. We can do this. So the next time that you lose that faith, and you begin to want to see God with that natural eye and want to look around and see, ask Him. Ask Him to show you something in your natural reality to remind you of His faithfulness to you. It's there. You just gotta look for it. I love you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.